Hello, precious family. I trust God that you've had a very good week. It's Pastor Derek and Sel Julia coming your way again this week with our series on the reasons why some unmarried people seem to enjoy sex better than married couples. And we are fortunate again today to have Pastor Derek here with us.
Welcome to the Marriage School with Pastors Derek and Seljalia Abre Solomon. Here at the Marriage School, we believe it is God's will for you to experience marital bliss at its fullest. And as such, we seek to equip you with the practical tools and resources for a successful marriage. Pastors Derek and Seljalia are both ministers of the gospel at Shine Ministries International located in London. And come next year, February, we'll be celebrating 20 years of marital bliss. They are also published authors of well-known marriage counseling books such as Built to Last and God's Spices for Marriage. Through the Marriage School, they share their vast knowledge about the marital landscape. Using the Word of God as their foundation, they provide couples with resources and strategies that prove helpful in navigating the marital waters. So join us this and every Saturday at 6 p.m. GMT on our Facebook page for fresh and new insights into the world of marriage.
You're welcome, Pastor Derek.
Thank you.
How has your week been?
By the grace of God, it's been a blessing.
We thank God. So for the past few weeks, you've been giving us reasons why some unmarried people seem to enjoy sex better than married people. And I know we've been learning a lot from it. And I know that you've got a lot more in store for us, because we know that sex is actually supposed to be enjoyed by married couples. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't seem to go like that every time because of some obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. So today we are eager to learn why and to know how we can make our sex life enjoyable.
All right, we thank God. Another reason why unmarried people sometimes tend to enjoy sex better than married couples is that usually, there are exceptions, but usually the unmarried girl, her body has not undergone the kind of torments and torture that the body of a wife has gone through, especially if she is a working mother who has to go labor at work, and then she comes home and she has to work around the house to make sure that the family is put together. If she has gone through pregnancy and delivery, things are not always the same like they used to be. Okay, the tummy usually may have some stretch marks, maybe some cesarean cuts, various surgeries even that they might have gone through before they even got pregnant. The delivery itself, if it's a whatever,
delivery.
Even if it's a normal delivery, sometimes they have to cut a bit of the vagina in order to make it open properly for the child to be able to come out. The kind of torture that a woman's body go through, usually the wife's bodies go through. It's never the same as some side chick who has not seen anything and is just all over the place. So this sometimes affects the confidence of the woman. She is afraid to even go naked before the man. She doesn't want the man to see her fully. And sometimes if the man is also not a very wise man, his comments alone are always beating the woman down. Look at your stomach. Your stomach has become like this. Your breasts have all fallen. All these stretch marks on your body, all this, all that. So all these things can weaken the wife's confidence. And then it makes her not very active, not very excited, not very forthcoming when it comes to sex. Whereas with unmarried people, the lady usually hasn't gone through some of these things. And she's very confident with herself or of her body, and usually this boyfriend too, I'll go to the next one and you'll understand. This boyfriend too, because he's not really used to this person, they've not lived for long like this. I mean, the wife is, so the comments are usually more of positive. Oh, you look hot, baby. You look exciting. Husbands usually don't talk to their wives like that. They look, oh, look at your stomach, look at your breast, look at it. All these things will weaken the woman. And the tiredness and the trauma, all these things affect the mind, and it can really impact on the quality of sex. So if you are a husband listening to me now, you have to learn how to rise above the basic things your eye sees. Be a wise man and admire your wife. You see, take pride in the stretch marks. Take pride in the stomach that has become bigger. She had to carry babies in there for it to get there. Take pride in it. Let your wife know that you appreciate her. You are proud of her stomach. You are proud of the stretch marks. You are proud of the operation marks or whatever. Please. And you are proud of the breasts that are falling. They fell because they fed your baby. And you yourself might also have sanctioned. So please, never speak carelessly about your wife's body. Always let her know that her body is very hot for you, and it will affect the quality of sex you have.
That is very true, Pastor Derek. But whilst you were talking, I was thinking, are the men also affected by the things the women go through? Because I've heard a few stories where a husband saw his wife in labor and decided, that put him off sex completely.
Yeah.
Because some of them were not able to take the experience.
It's not a very sexy thing to look at. It's not, excuse my language, it's not pornifying. It's not pornographically exciting to see the head of a baby coming out of your wife's vagina. It makes it doesn't look as exciting as the one you saw without any. So you have to be, for you to be able to have those quality things with your wife after delivery, especially if you were there. That's why in places like Africa, they don't even allow the men to come and see delivery, because it will affect you. It will affect you. If you see a baby coming out of the vagina, it's not an easy thing. And then after that, all these the other thing, the placenta and things coming out and all those things, it can really affect you. You have to be a deep man to see all those things and still be able to bring your wife and cherish her and still make her feel she's as hot as the hottest lady on earth. So it affects men too. It affects their erection. It's something that they are coming close and then they remember and then the thing just falls quiet.
Don't remember then. But another thing that I also realized is that for some of the men who are a lot more matured, those things actually give them more love and more compassion for their wives. That wow, if this woman has gone through this, that makes them love them more. So I think it could go either way.
But often it goes the other way. It takes a very deep man. It takes a very understanding man. It takes a very spiritual man. Careless men, immature men, carnal people. These things rather tend to have a negative.
And with this issue of stretch marks, I've heard some men really like stretch marks. They actually look for it to stretch marks. And there are some men who don't like stretch marks.
I like it.
Well, so nice. I think it depends on the man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We will go to the next point so that you focus.
Okay. Right. So the next point is that usually people who are not married are not always together. Okay, they are not always together. Familiarity breeds contempt. When you are always with a person constantly, you tend to begin to commonize them. They become common before you. And so there's nothing really exciting. You see her you see her running around without her braziers. You see her walk into the bathroom and come back. You see her use the loo, and then after you finish, you go there and the place is not smelling nice and all those things. You sleep with her and she snores and she
throws her legs,
turns on the bed and puts her leg on you and all that. And with time, that is not exciting. She begins to look like your sister or something like that, and so the excitement is not there. So if you are a husband, you have to be very deep and you have to be smart to know how to still make her look exciting and presentable to you. You have to rise above you seeing her every day. Okay, and if you're a wife also, you have to rise above seeing your husband every day, because it went the other way as well. You see your husband, he's gone to the bathroom, he's coming, his ding dong is hanging on there, and he's just doing it, and it's not attractive. It's not as nice. You're always seeing him. You see him at his weakest point. You see him crying because he lost something. You see him go through all the motions of life, and these things are not sexually appealing enough. That's why marriage is for deep people. If you are not deep, the familiarity, as you see all the sides of a person, it begins to affect the quality of sex you can have. But I pray that God will give you wisdom to rise above those things and to be able to do all the other things that will keep your sexual life on fire.
So in summary, we can say that it takes maturity to still enjoy sex.
Yeah. It takes a lot of maturity and spirituality. You have to be spiritual, you have to be mature. Otherwise, if you are carnal, the storms of life will destroy the quality of the sexual marriage. Then you start looking for it outside. What is outside now begins to look appealing because you are not deep.
Why would you say sex is spirituality? I was trying to discuss that with somebody some time ago. That why would you say sex? It takes a lot of spirituality to enjoy sex.
You see, sex outside of marriage, it takes a lot of carnality.
Yeah.
Sex inside of marriage, it takes a lot of spirituality, because sex inside of marriage is what God originally ordained it to be. And you have to be in tune with God to do things the way God intends them to be done. Yeah. You have to be against God. The carnal mind is at enmity with God.
Yeah.
Okay? So you have to be against God. You have to be in the flesh and be against God to do things that are against God. God hates sexual practice outside of marriage. Okay,
thank you. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, the next thing with unmarried people is that they want to impress. Because this is my last chance. Every time
I need to
they meet,
prove that
I need to prove that I'm a wife material. I need to prove that I'm a husband material. I need to prove that, listen, I'm the best he can get or she can get. And so they usually put in extra effort. Married people think, he's already married me. What is there to prove? He has already seen everything. She has already seen everything. What is there to prove? So he taps his 1 gallon and then he moves on. Taps his 1 gallon and then he moves on. But the unmarried person wants a full tank. They go all out. You go out. So let us learn some of these things. In your marriage, still go all out. Prepare for sex. Dress for it. Talk about it. Spend time on it. Spend money on it. Invest in it. Think about it. Play around it. Chat around it. Text around it. Photograph around it. Do technology around it. Yeah. I don't mean like send nude photos and all that. But may God give you wisdom. Okay, use technology, and everything you can to make your sexual. If I say use technology, I don't mean go and watch pornography and things like that. No, among yourself, any aid, anything that is biblically acceptable that will help you have exciting sex, do it. Don't allow it to become dry, dead, and boring. Don't once you marry, don't say that because you've already married, you don't need to impress. Dress well to impress. Wear sexy lingeries and things like that. Make yourself appealing. Don't just retire and you go about with some turban and some big maxi gown without your bra and your breast is just hanging in there. Sumo wrestler pants working around there, and your feet are on the floor. Blah blah blah. You're going out. You are not appealing. That's not how you used to be when you were not married. When the guy was chasing you, you were making yourself sharp. In the marriage, make yourself sharp. Yeah. In the same way, you the man to be romantic. You were romantic when you had not married. When you were sinning, rather, you were romantic. Now that you have married, you've left yourself there. You allowed your shape to go off. You don't do any romantic thing to the wife. You don't buy her nice things. You don't cuddle her. You don't kiss her. You don't hug her. You just walk around, do whatever you want. At the end of the day, you come. Are you asleep? Remove your pants. You cannot have quality sex like that. Okay? So it will require a lot of investment.
Thank you, Pastor Derek. Yeah. Do we have time for more?
Maybe I will touch on this one and then we'll finish. We'll start it again in the next broadcast. And that is, there is not enough history of offenses and bitterness in these relationships outside of marriage. Yeah. You don't know me much. Mm-hmm. I don't live with you. So the offenses that take place inside of marriage, These people have not experienced it. In a marriage, you have to forgive 10,001 times to be able to forgive a whole lot of sins and still be sexually very active. A lot of marriages are suffering. The sex in the marriage is suffering because of offenses in the heart. The woman cannot shake, she cannot twist because she's offended with her husband. The man cannot even sometimes get erection because she's offended with the wife. Offense, he's offended. Offense, bitterness, unforgiveness, and sometimes even when they forgiving, the history that so my wife could say this to me, so my husband could say this to me, it affects the quality of sex. We'll take this point again next week, God willing, and then go deeper into it, and you'll be amazed how we are killing our own sex life by the way we are treating each other in our marriages. Be different. Dare to be a different husband. Dare to be a different wife. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Derek. A word to the wise. Let's take these things on board and use them so we can have exciting sex to the glory of God. So we come your way again next week. It's Pastor Derek and Sel Julia from the Married School. God bless you.
Amen. Bye-bye.